This is Oshari, one of the managing partners for the Career and Business Group. As promised yesterday, we will be going through different tips on how to start your small to medium-sized business here in Jamaica. Now, we set up a schedule and we send it out on our social media platforms. So today I will be looking on feasibility testing or market research, right? Some person might be wondering, why do I need to do a market research, or why do I need to do a feasibility test? Well, the first thing that usually happens when you decide that you want to start a business is that this brilliant idea pops in your head and you're like, okay, I'm going to run with it. But one of the important things that most persons tend to forget is that they need to know if this idea is viable. And this idea is typically called a business pitch in the business world, right? So you have a pitch in the idea stage. We as business consultants usually recommend that you do a market research or feasibility testing to see how well this pitch idea would work in reality, right? Now, when you're in the idea stage, for example, let me use myself. I wanted to start a what you call that now, a state-of-the-art meat shop, right? But I wanted to start it in my hometown. There was no meat shop there, but I wanted to know if people would run into the state-of-the-art facility that I'd be putting up. So what I did is I took a team of persons and we went out, we spoke with the persons in the community, persons outside of the community, and persons who often would travel by, transportation, for example, to Pointil. And so would you access the service of a state-of-the-art meat mart? It's just only meat, nothing else. You can also use technology to order your products and you'll get your products on time. We'll have delivery system in place, everything that you can think about, right? So I went about, I did my market research, and I recognized that persons love the idea, and that especially young millennials like ourselves wanted that option where they could just jump on their computer, type in, I need 10 pounds of mixed parts, pork, beef, mutton, whatever it was, and that would be delivered right to their gate, with their receipt. If they had their credit card or their debit card, they could also pay with it right on spot. So that was my idea of doing a market research for that concept, right? The next thing I needed to find out was where would be the best location that these persons wouldn't mind running to go and get their meat. So my uncle had a location that I thought was ideal, but I didn't just run and say, okay, my idea is that it's ideal. I wanted to find out from the people as well, would this location work well for you? So what I did was during that same feasibility or market testing, I spoke with them and said, what location would be good for you, especially if you're traveling or you're walking? Where could we could meet you halfway? It would be good for me, good for you, and good for the persons that that are walking or driving. And the persons identified some spots, and fortunate for me, the spot I had in mind turned out to be one of the spots that most persons mentioned during the market research. Now let me just run through quickly. You have to think about your company itself. What is it I'm gonna offer? As I stated before, my example was a meat mart. What would the customer want? As I said before, I did a feasibility test, and these persons wanted a state-of-the-art meat shop, not just a regular shop, right? Then I started thinking about who are my competitors. Who else in St. Catherine to this location had any form of meat mart to this magnitude? There was none. So that was good for me. Then I started thinking about in the future, if I think to make this something bigger and more worthwhile, would I be able to collaborate with other persons? So I started thinking about my collaborators, right? So as I said before, you think about your company, what you have to offer, the services, the products, whatever it is. You think about your customers, would they be pleased with this service? Would my business be struggling to survive? Then you think about your competitors, because when you're thinking about pricing, you have to think about your competitors. If you're thinking about surviving in the market, you have to think about your competitors. And you also have to think about collaborators in the future. If you plan to go large, go global, who would team up with you on your brilliant idea, right? Now, there's a time